Hi, I'm Kathleen Heffernan, author of the Bikini Model Cookbook, and today's recipe is homemade almond milk. Alright, to make the almond milk, all you need is some water, almonds, some form of a sweetener. You can either use fresh almonds, or I like to soak my almonds. It's being soaked right here with the dates right now. Just it gives it a lot more flavor when you soak them longer. It lets the flavors come out in the milk. So there's one variation that I use for the almond milk right now that I really am liking, and it's a chocolate flavored almond milk. I like to use raw cacao nibs, and I would soak those in the almonds just so that they kind of get a little bit more soft before you throw them in the blender. Alright, so I got my blender here, and I have 4 cups of water, and I'm going to add my soaked almonds. Actually, first I gotta strain them, so I'll be right back. These days are really looking gross and soggy. So, mine have pits in them, so make sure you don't throw your pit in there because that would suck. So dates are pretty high in sugar and calories. These dates here have 70 calories per date, so don't use too many of them. They're very sweet. You add the almonds, and then you give it a good blend. Now I'm going to take the almond milk and pour it into the sieve. I think that's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. When it starts to kind of settle at the top, I take my spoon and I kind of just pat it down, and I give it a stir. I try and release as much of the juice as I can into the container for my almond milk. So now I have this milk that's left over from the blender, from the sieve, and into the container it goes. You may prefer to have a little slightly sweeter almond milk, and so on that note I would use Epicure maple sugar, or I really like all natural honey. The other thing that I would do is use Epicure vanilla, or in the cookbook, the Bikini Model Cookbook, this is one of my recipes, it's top secret, but I would use my homemade vanilla recipe, or in this recipe there's all natural vanilla pods. So I would grab one of these vanilla beans and stick it right in the milk, which is what I'm going to do because it's my favorite thing to do with it. So split it down the middle and throw it into the milk after it's been soaking in my homemade vanilla, and it gives it a lot of vanilla flavor, all natural, and it just really spikes it. For this whole recipe and recipes like it, tons of subscriber only info, enter your email in the email box on my website, kathleenheffernan.com, or if you're watching YouTube, click the link below. Thanks for watching.